So within less than an hour after the breaking news that President Trump did this groundbreaking deal where him and Iran signed a MOU, a memorandum of understanding, there has now been confirmed 20 to 30 shots fired around the White House. And we're going to get into all the footage up to date at the time of this recording. You can see here is the map. There is the White House. And on the pin is where the shots were confirmed to be. Fox News saying White House is under lockdown after as many as 30 shots have been fired in the vicinity. Shots fired outside the White House was caught on camera, like live on the news. There's a couple videos. Let's have a look.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
Right now, we have absolutely no idea motive. We have absolutely no idea suspects. Maybe by the end of this video, I'll have, some more information. I'll just stack it at the front if that is the case. But there was a couple, there's so many different videos, folks. It's all happening in real time as I'm recording. Holy smokes. So President Trump skips his own son's wedding in order to frickin' do a peace deal with Iran, while simultaneously White House Down is being reenacted right now. Oh my goodness.
Memorial Day since 2022. President Trump promises the prices will go down, but his grip on Republican support on Capitol Hill is weakening.
There's shots fired. We have to get down.
Holy smokes, man.
There are shots fired. We are going down.
You can hear in the background, Secret Service, local police starting to move.
There are shots fired.
That's insane. People just start running. Holy smokes. And then, in addition, and like weirdly, sidebar, the U.S. Embassy in Kiev urges Americans to prepare to immediately shelter if an air alert is issued in the next 24 hours. Oh my goodness, you get a little glimmer of hope, and then all of a sudden, boom, everything goes wrong. So you can see Capitol Hill, or Secret Service police and everyone. They're doing their patrols. Inside of the White House, you have gunshots heard outside the White House, approximately 20 to 30. Secret Service told those of us gathered on the North Lawn to run inside the press briefing room. So you can see some reporters are being held inside the press briefing room while Secret Service police are outside the press briefing room. And a lot of people are noticing the quality of the door. I mean, this is right in the comments. Like, yeah, come on. I mean, put money into a ballroom. Let's fix these doors too while we're at it, right? And then you've got Secret Service snipers seen on the roof after shots have been fired. I mean, this is still ongoing development, everybody. It's getting crazy out there. It's absolutely getting crazy. And we are going to get into more details of what actually happened because there's been, some more details have come out. But first, I've got a message from today's sponsor. The best way to protect yourself online. If you're watching this channel, chances are you already know how crazy things are getting online. Between censorship, data tracking, and companies selling your private information, your privacy is under attack 24/7. That's why I use Private Internet Access VPN. It's one of the most trusted VPNs out there with millions of users, and it does exactly what you think it should. It protects your data, hides your IP address, and lets you browse the internet like you're supposed to. privately. And here's the thing, your internet service provider can legally track and sell your browsing data. That's not a conspiracy, that's real. Private internet access encrypts your connection so they can't see what you're doing. It's also insanely useful if you want to travel or just want unrestricted access, whether that's streaming, news, or content that gets blocked depending on where you are. Setup takes 2 minutes. With one click, you are fully protected. So if you care about your privacy, and honestly, you should, click the link down below in the description or scan the QR code on your screen and you get 83% off plus 4 months for free. You also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's literally zero financial risk just to try it out. Get protected, stay anonymous, and take back control of your internet.
We have you by phone. Can you break this down for us?
Well, Tommy, this is what always happens when we have something like this. I always start to check in on the security situation at the White House, but this is what happened around 6 o'clock this evening. I'm told that a gunman came up near the White House on the west side, what is described to me as Gate 17. This is kind of near 14th Street on the west side of the White House, and came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. We don't know what type of pistol it was, but he then fired toward the White House 3 times. And the United States Secret Service, they returned fire. We don't know how many shots that they got off, and they apparently took the gunman down. Now, sometime in this gunfire exchange, a civilian on the street was struck by this gunfire, and we do not know the condition of that person right now. But the important thing to know is that the gunman who came up with the pistol and was taken down by the Secret Service, and we don't know his condition right now, but he never got inside the perimeter of the White House. And this is according to a senior administration official with direct knowledge of what went down at the White House this afternoon. This was right around 6 o'clock Eastern time.
It's also been confirmed that President Trump is safe after gunmen opened fire on the White House.
In time, there was, you could hear people who were on the ground there. I wasn't there, but there was a report of gunfire near the White House. And I jumped in here because sometimes, when there's a threat at the White House or the executive branch, maybe there's something going on at the Capitol. So I started to dial in with sources there. We're told that this was on the west side of the White House grounds. Again, you have the White House, and you also have the outer perimeter there, Gate 17, as it was described to me, near the Eisenhower Executive Office building. Somebody came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. I'm told that it was a pistol, in fact, not a long gun or a rifle or anything like that. And the alleged gunman got off at least 3 shots. And the United States Secret Service, who obviously prowl that area, some things might not be obvious to people walking by, but certainly to the people, guarding the perimeter. They responded to this. They're trained to respond to that gunfire. And I'm told, and this was the quote that was given to me, that they took the suspect down. Quote, they took him down. So this is a male suspect. I'm also told that somewhere in this process that a civilian was struck. We don't know how many shots that the Secret Service or other law enforcement might have gotten off. Again, they'll have to go through the ballistics evidence of this, and we don't know the condition of the gunman or the suspect. But the important thing here is that the President of the United States is safe and that the alleged gunman never got inside the White House perimeter.
Okay, President is safe. Gunman got taken down. Chances are we're going to hear from President Trump within the next hour or two.
We have breaking news. CNN reporters heard what appeared to be dozens of gunshots near the White House a short time ago. Julia Benbrook is now inside in the press briefing room. Julia, bring us up to speed what you heard and what you know.
Yeah, I'm here with other White House reporters, photographers. We are now in the briefing room. This is where Secret Service rushed us to after we heard what appeared to be dozens of gunshots. And I want to paint the picture for you a little bit. We're here in the briefing room, and then you can kind of see out the window. Secret Service is currently working the north lawn there to make sure everything is okay. But that's where we do live shots, is those green tents out there. And I was just speaking to you from out there just before this happened. And then reporters were rushed into the briefing room after, again, what appeared to be dozens of gunshots. Now, we have reached out to Secret Service and the White House for more information. This is all still unfolding. It is really unclear right now if anyone was injured. These gunshots, though, to be clear, appeared outside of the grounds, closer to the EOB building, which is on the west side of the White House. So while we could hear them, we're not exactly sure where these took place. Again, if anyone was injured, we are waiting on more information. But just the visual of all these reporters running in here, this happening just about a month after the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where a lot of this same group was on the ground in a situation where there was a shooter there as well. A scary moment. And
Yeah, it's definitely scary. It's scarier because it's not just like Trump that's in the crosshairs, but you've also got the press that's now being exposed to this. So the press is no longer just reporting on, shootings. They're literally in the mix. And I think that brings a whole new level of realization to potentially the words and the rhetoric that the press has been using to describe President Trump and his administration. So I'm not saying that this was motivated due to how CNN reports about President Trump, but I mean, there's definitely reason to believe in the past that political violence has been motivated due to the political rhetoric that's being pushed out by, different politicians and different media. So hopefully this is an eye opener. Hopefully, there's the only casualty is, well, hopefully there's no casualties. I was going to say hopefully it was a gunman, but no, I think they definitely need to keep him alive and figure out what the heck's going on and then deal with him accordingly, since we do know it is a him. But that is the video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, because President Trump is probably going to speak about this later on tonight is my assumption. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye for now.